Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hands Off My Children radio show. I'm your host, Cogee. I want to thank everybody for definitely rolling with us on the first and second hour. I mean, it's been 2 strong hours of a lot of information, a lot of awareness, a lot of new ways to bring love into your life during this situation. And when this information comes to you, if it ever comes to you, you know how to deal with it as a parent, as an aunt, an uncle, a foster parent, whatever it might be. The name of the game is to save lives. That's why we do this show. We do this show with love. We do this show because we want people to be able to overcome problems and be able, to be able to deal with each other again, but deal with each other on a different basis of respect. And that's why, we give as much information that we give it from every direction, and we listen to everybody that's on this panel. Everybody on this panel has something to say that can change a life and make a difference. Because like I always say, and I keep it real, my cape ain't big enough to take care of everybody. That's why it's other organizations out there that's also doing what I'm doing, and they trying to make a difference too, trying to make a difference as well. And we should always show them love as well, because like I said, who I can't save and what I can't save, somebody else can. And that's the name of the game. As many as we can scoop up and pull into safety, that's what we need to do. But we gotta teach our children how to scoop up children themselves as well, and bring them to the mentors, bring them to the ones that really care, to get them to safety and get them on the right road. Now, we want to thank, Erin, I want to thank you for being on again today.
Thank you.
Sam, I want to thank you as well.
Happy to be here.
Miss Elsa Prado from Chicago, my co-host. What have you thought about, what you've heard thus far?
So far, I think it's an amazing show today. Especially another thing that I was thinking also while we were in commercial is that I really hope our educators, that have to deal with the children on a daily basis at some point are getting some form of education to kind of prepare themselves for these situations where they themselves may not be prepared. Like, how am I going to deal with this? If I find a child depressed over their identity, if maybe they see a child in a situation where they're getting bullied over the situation, how are they going to handle it? Are they going to handle it like you would, like a lot of times this is not seen like your normal situation. So I'm really hoping that even like the educators that are listening to us are listening to the program with that in mind, that they have this particular situation in their own classrooms.
That's right. That's right. You're definitely right about that. Now, what I want to do real quick, I want to go to Sam. Sam has some information that she want to give out. So please, what we'll do.
That who want to give out?
That you have some information that you want to give out.
That they want to give out.
That they want to give out. That's why I'm like, hold on. I'm talking to Sam because Aaron's over here.
Yeah.
Sam has some information that they want to give out right now, everybody. So we got that. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is make sure that they give out this information and that, we have the proper information and the right people that you can contact, the right places, that will, accept you and help you out through anything that you're going with, but where you can be taken care of. So I'll let y'all do what y'all got to do.
Yeah. So, if there are any youth, not even just youth, but any trans people out there, the Trans Lifeline, it's a hotline. It's a phone line that you can call, specifically set up for trans people, phoned by trans people. You're going to be talking to someone that understands exactly what you're going through. In the U.S., that's a 877-565-8860. They're amazing, amazing people. I've met some of the phone operators. They're totally there for support. And then here in Las Vegas, we have the center. It's at 401 South Maryland Parkway. It's just a little bit north of Charleston. And their phone number is 702-733-9800. Specifically, we have a youth program called Qvolution. It's a social group and activity group for young people from like 13 to 24 to come in, meet other people their age, have a space to explore their identities. That's what I was saying, when I went to a group of people and first started using my pronouns, it was them, they helped me so much. We also have trans-specific programming. That's for all ages, whether you're, 16 or 80, wherever you're at in your journey, whatever it is you need and who you're looking for. We have trans programming, as well as a switch is what we call it. It's a room we set up a couple days a week where any trans or gender nonconforming people can come on in, and people donate their clothes, and you can take whatever you need for free. So if you are in a situation where you aren't comfortable shopping in the men or the women's section, or you're a young kid who your parent won't take you to go shopping for what you need, you can come on in. We'll give it all to you for free. We have great services over at the center.
Okay, there it is, definitely. So,
and the website is thecenterlv.org. And all the information is on there. You can look up all the programming, look up all the events that we have. It's such a great place.
All right, there it is. So, what do you all think of the show today?
I'm really, really happy to be here. I've had a really, really good time. It's good that you guys have done your research, that you know what you guys are talking about. Often you'll see that people call in trans people or people they see as like experts or specialists on this sort of thing, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And it's all insensitivity, and it's all starting from literally square one. And there's really not a whole lot that can happen. So I'm really, really happy that we're not at that point,
That's
that
cool.
we've been able to do some work.
And one thing I told you all, I said, if it goes to that point where y'all feel like it's going this way, no, stop the show in its tracks and bring it back to where y'all want it to be, because even after y'all see this tape when it comes out, you know what I'm saying, I want y'all to feel good about it. I want y'all to want to pass it to all y'all's friends, get all the information out there about handsoffourchildren.org. Definitely go give us a like, follow us, message us, let us know, what we can do to help. Let us know, send us information to put out on our website that can help children as well. So, Erin, thus far, how do y'all feel about the show?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to repeat what Sam said. I think it's absolutely amazing what has been happening so far, and you guys have questions that are ready to be asked, and we can...
And good questions.
Yeah, really, really good questions, considering those are ones that typically come up when talking to trans people, and it's very helpful that you guys are doing this show just in general, because there is a lack of information regarding trans people to the general public.
Right.
Like, unless you specifically search it up, you don't get this information.
No.
Right.
And I'm glad that you guys are providing this.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Actually having trans people on the show helps too.
Yeah,
definitely.
But see, like I said, it's not about having no ego or having a complex. No. It's about saving lives and making sure that we learn to have relationships with this kind of situation where people think it's a situation. Okay, well, let's learn how to deal with the situation to deal in the situation. You get what I'm saying? So that's why we do these shows, and we got a lot more other shows we gonna do. We don't run from nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about ratings. It's about saving lives. Because if you do good shows and you do the good things that you're supposed to do, great things will come from it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we do what we do. But what I want to do right now, I want to go to Miss Elsa Prado, my co-host from Chicago. I want to tell you that I love you so much. Thank you for helping me with this show today and making sure that me and you, stayed talking about it and done the proper things that we needed to do, as well as my whole team behind the scenes, our interns and everything that we have back there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the love. It goes both ways, and just know that we're just going to keep going and doing everything that we can for these kids, because we don't want to leave anybody behind.
Nobody behind. No kid left behind with hands off our children. I'm serious about that. I mean that. But Elsa, you have a special guest for us today that, like I said, we got so much love for Mar. I love it when people step up and they can be transparent first, which helps us be more transparent on our end, because it goes back to what Mr. Neal said, a.k.a. Bernie Mac. It's just something attractive about confidence. And when somebody can have that much confidence to say, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, you don't have to like it, you don't have to love it, but I love me. And that's all that matters. I love me. When we can get people to the state of I love me, even in regular relationships, you know what I'm saying? There'd be a lot less domestic violence, a lot less killing, a lot less domestic violence, a lot less, other things where people are doing these things out of, not feeling whole themselves. That's why we do these shows. So, Miss Elsa, I would like for you definitely to roll the red carpet for our guests, and we'll bring him in.
I want to bring Mar in. Let's roll out the red carpet and say hello to Mar.
Hey, Mar.
Hey,
up,
Mar,
Mar?
how you doing?
Hello.
Everybody, give a
Hello.
hand, everybody. Come on, let's give it up, everybody.
Way to go,
Big
Mar.
round of applause,
What a warm
please.
welcome. Thank you.
Definitely. How you doing today, Mar?
Doing great. How are you guys today?
I'm doing fine. Me and my whole team. My producer told me you've been listening to the show thus far. So thus far, what have you heard, and have you enjoyed the show? Is it anything that you feel we need to get right with this show, with this situation, or was it, right on point?
The show has been too good. I feel like I have nothing to add now. It was great. I love it.
You know what? And
Well,
see, now what you're saying that, it makes me feel even better, because that's the way I wanted the show to go, with no color lines, with no judgment, and definitely where love is in the forefront of information. We wanted love in the forefront of information, because if we have that love at first, then we can hear the information. If we have the information there and then we trying to get the love to catch up with the information, you know what happens with that. It's a disaster. So what did you hear in the show? This is the way we're going to do this. Since you said you feel we nailed a lot of stuff that I was going to ask you, I still know how to ask you questions, where we can get this great information. What did you hear that you want to piggyback off of to bring more information?
I think the thing that I love the most that I heard you all talking about was coming from a place of love as a parent.
That's right.
To try to learn more about your own child. I think that that's just a message that gets lost in the communication so often.
Yeah.
Where, as a parent, all you want is for your child to lead the best life they can lead. So if your child comes out as queer or trans or gay or any other sort of identity, you should go out.
Your phone is
Mar, you
dying
there?
out, Mar. Hello?
Mar, where'd you go?
Oh, Mar dropped off. Okay, Miss Elsa Prado, we're going to pull you in. We'll pull you in for Mar right now.
We'll get him back.
Yeah, we'll pull you in. So where did you hear he was going with it, Elsa?
I'm getting the impression that he was going in the direction of making sure that the parents are there for their kids, because, there are kids that get left out.
Right.
And I know I had a conversation with Mara about a coworker, and we're older, so in our generation there wasn't the level of understanding or even the information that we have now. And my coworker was telling me that when his father found out, he says, "Oh no, my son's not going to be a no fag," and he says, "I'm going to beat it right out of you." And he says, "My father would beat me and beat me and beat me, because he was going to beat it out of me," and even made him get married.
Good
Oh,
Lord.
wow.
I'm sorry. That's so wrong.
Right. But you know what? Hey, everybody, Mar's back with us. Mar, you back?
I am back. I am.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back, Mar.
Mar.
Happy to hear you.
All right. Now, Mar, what I want to ask you, you know what? This is a question I want to no. I want you to finish what you was going to say, and then I have a very important question to ask you. But I want you to finish what you were saying before you dropped off.
Elsa picked it up perfectly.
Okay.
I just think that there needs to be a lot more understanding that as a parent of a queer child, that there should be a level of empathy that you have to access to understand your child and to be an agent to help your child, because a lot of queer children do experience a lot of harassment in the workplace, at school, from friends, from other family members.
Right.
And as a parent, you should be your number one ally to your child.
That's right. You definitely right about that. Now, what I want to ask all three of you all right now, this is coming into triangle. What I'm going to ask you all.
Oh, us two and Mar?
Us two and Mar.
Okay.
Right. This is what I want to ask y'all right now. Is it better being in a relationship with the same sex, or is it better being in a relationship with the opposite sex? But this is the question I'm asking you. Some people seem to run to that situation after they've been hurt in a relationship. They run to their own kind and feel like, oh, well, I'm over here. I'm not going to never let a man hurt me again. Oh, I'm not going to never let a woman hurt me again. I mean, can y'all speak on that? Because we've had one of our special guests that comes on all the time, Mr. Patrick Dottie, and he said he was in a relationship where he got beat constantly in this relationship by another man. but it was supposed to be a better relationship. You get what I'm trying to say. You if you over there, I mean, on that side of the fence, you feel, well, I'm over here because I love this person, I care about this person, and I want this to be a great relationship, but I know we have a lot against us. You get what I'm saying? Everything that goes bad, that's when society can say, see, I told you. See, I told you. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, you just have to recognize that, you know, abusers and bad relationships and good relationships can be wherever. You know, an abuser can be a man or a woman or neither, or, you know, that can happen wherever. I mean, personally, I can't speak on this. I'm bisexual, so, like, it's not that I prefer someone over the other. So I'll pass that off then.
Well, we'll send it to you, Aaron.
Well, I mean, I personally have not experienced that, considering I'm only 14. But it's not. I'm sorry. What was the question again? Like, I'm trying to figure out like what specifically am I supposed to
Take your time,
answer.
Aaron. Take your time.
Okay,
Aaron.
so you're talking about people going to date.
Going into coming out of a relationship,
like you dated
with a man or a woman, as a man and woman, and going into a relationship with the same sex.
Okay, well, sometimes that, like, you really are just questioning who you are at that point. It isn't just because, like, oh, it'll be better on the other side.
Okay.
It's not because of that. It's not.
But a lot of people are hurt to the point to where I done heard them say, they done said it to me. They done said it to Mr. Neal. They done said it to Sunshine and E and a lot of people. Oh, you know, I'll never be hurt by a man again. I'll never be hurt by a woman again. You know, I'm going to go on this side of the fence and I'm better off over here. I mean, when you hear somebody say that, that's what, okay, I'm going to go to you, Sam, because you'll come raw and real with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you're a little older, you know, Aaron, and you've been out there a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you this question. When you hear somebody say that, are they coming over in this lane for the right reasons or for the wrong reasons? What would you say if you heard somebody say that?
I feel like when someone has been in a situation where they're the victim of abuse, their feelings are valid.
Right.
And however it is that they're processing that abuse and how they're working through it is 100% valid. So if it does end up just being like and I hate to say this word, but like being a phase where it's a portion of their life where they say, no, you know, I don't want to date this kind of person anymore because of what happened to me. That's an absolute valid way to process your abuse.
But would you
know
let them know that things can happen over in that relationship, just like that relationship, but don't go over thinking the grass is greener on the other side than that side, because people are human no matter what. I'm saying, would you add that advice on? Don't run over there because you heard over here for the wrong reasons.
If it was solicited, you know, if someone is telling me that I'm not gonna, I wouldn't want to come off as like dismissive of their feelings and the way that they're processing things. But I mean, you know, after a certain point, and if it was solicited, I would absolutely, you know, recognize that abusers can be anyone. Okay. And that situation can absolutely happen if you're in a lesbian relationship or you're in a gay relationship or if you're dating a non-binary person. Like, an abuser can be anyone. Okay. You know what I mean?
All right.
The grass isn't, it's not that the grass is greener on the other side or anything.
Right. All right. Mar, what's your take on it?
I think just to piggyback off of that idea, there could be a way to turn that conversation into more of a outside of gender things where, you know, oh, I'm going to only date men so I don't get hurt by women, or vice versa. As someone who was in an abusive relationship with a woman, I learned that there was a way to turn that conversation with other people sometimes into, well, what traits are you looking for in any partner, and how can you recognize some red flags of abuse and look for healthy things out of a mate regardless of their orientation, your orientation, or anyone's gender identity in the situation.
I love that.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you definitely broke it down. Let me go to a phone call real quick. We're going to go to Matt. Matt, how you doing today?
What's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Great topic. I was just listening. I always listen every week with you guys.
We appreciate you, man. Definitely.
Just shout out. Yeah. So I love the topic. I was just love the comments are given. You know, as you know, Coach, just working in the industry for so long, as abuse is, they're cunning. Abusers always find the ones they can prey on the easiest.
Right.
And it all comes back to self-perspection and self-love. So those that are in abusive relationship, they need to get that confidence and find somebody to help them, if it be a therapist or somebody that can help them love themselves to not let people like that, take advantage of them.
Right.
And
see,
easy to prey on it.
Right. And you know what? Let me piggyback off of
Mm-hmm.
you for 1 second, Matt, because you know how me and you do this. Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. What I was saying was, and Matt just came in and basically, piggybacked off what I had said before he got on the air. And I want to come back with it again. When you go in a relationship with the same type of person, you know what I'm saying? 2 men, 2 women, you need to know anything can happen in that relationship because everybody has feelings. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a trigger point. Everybody, to some degree, comes with baggage. Mm-hmm. It depends on how much baggage you bring to that relationship to deal in that relationship. Can y'all work y'all's differences out and know that we both come from a bad place in relationships to be in this relationship, to leave our baggage behind, and I accept you for you and you accept me for me, and we take it from right now. Now, it ain't that I'm giving people knowledge on how to be in a gay relationship or whatever relationship you might want to call it. No, I'm teaching you how to be alive. I'm teaching you how not to have domestic violence charges. I'm teaching you how not to trick yourself and believe in one thing when you're not going to think logical and think everybody has some type of issues. And that's just keeping it real. And Matt came back and said the same thing about not going into a relationship where you're letting somebody, you telling somebody all the things you've been through, and then they play off of it and destroy you the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. And that's what Matt was saying. And Matt, that was a great point. So go ahead, Matt. I just wanted to piggyback off it real quick.
No, and I agree with you. And it just comes down to where that person has to know themselves before they get into it, because two halves don't make a whole. If you have two unhealthy people, it's just going to be a big hot mess, right?
That's right. You're definitely right about that.
It's just going off what, and I love that you already said it, and I'm just kind of, like you said, re-echoing it.
No, but it's good you came back. It's good you reintroduced it again, because I want people to really hear it, and I'm glad you said it because it came from you. And some people might not have heard it from me, but they heard it from you, and I appreciate that.
And I coach. I couple coach both gay couples, straight couples. It doesn't matter what couple you are, because I love how it was. What you said is just both individuals have to love themselves to make a healthy relationship. Right. And everyone that I've had abusive relationships walk through the door where the one that's doing the abusive, it's usually there's a history there. Everybody, like you just said, has baggage. Either the abuser's been abused, and you can always find a cycle going on. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't justify it. It just, unfortunately, if they fell into that cycle, there's accountability on that.
That's right.
Hopefully we catch it before. So if kids are being abused, if we can, that's why I love Hands Off Our Children. If we can catch that abuse way ahead, we can give them a fighting chance when they hit adulthood. So that's a huge thing. That's why this organization is so important.
And you know what? And, I feel the same way about yours, the Never Give Up Foundation as well. Me and you, we definitely work hand in hand, on certain situations with each other, to make sure that the community know that we are here. We do exist. You can, have help. But, like I said, I put my neck all the way out there with my shows to do this situation because that's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, give me the ball, let me run it. I'll run it. Give it to me. Look, don't throw it. We on the 1 yard line. Just let me run it in. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. But let me do this real quick, Matt. I want you to hold on, okay? I want to go to Elsa real quick. Elsa, what was very important in the message Matt just said a minute ago? Because I know you heard that too.
No, I mean, it's totally true. The love is the most important part. And not only is I see it like full circle. I see the love has to be there, not only in the parents for their child that is going through this change and transformation, but also for that couple. And my other question, and I was going to ask Mara this question, and it's also, I think it applies only because Mara's a little older.
Right.
When you're going through that whole transformation, how important is it for your mate or your partner to really be there for you when you're doing the sex change procedure and
so
going through all that change?
It's so important to have someone that you're in the relationship with that honestly and truly does support you and understands what it is that you're telling them and what you're going through. It can't just be on the surface they say, yeah, okay, great, and I'm going to call you these words, but I don't really get it. It's so vitally important to have someone who's going to support you and at least start to work to understand what is happening and what you're going through.
Right. Mar, I want to go to you next.
Oh, definitely. I think that I have seen personally a lot of relationships around me where one partner will transition and the other partner will kind of feign support, or they will be uninterested in learning about kind of what's going on in the other person's body and mind.
Right.
And that just creates a more toxic environment for the relationship because it builds up a lot of resentment between the two people.
I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me ask another question real quick. Now I want to speed through this because I don't want time to run out, because I want to get to a certain point where our whole team asks all of you all questions real quick. But when we do this, we got to move fast because we're on a time limit. No drawn out questions and no drawn out answers. I want to ask you real quick. I want to come to you, Mara, and ask you, how should a child express to a parent, you think, about their gender?
I think that the best way to do it is start off the conversation with reminding them that you're the same person you've always been.
Right.
You're full of love for the parent. You know, you hope that the parent loves and supports you like they have always done.
Right.
And that this is really trying to get to a place where you know yourself better and you want to explore that.
Absolutely.
That's right. And another thing I want to ask you, when it comes to religion, what has hurt you with religion, Mar, where at one time you was living off the words of that religion, you know, to live strong?
I think that a lot of people who follow specific religions can forget that overall the message is love other people, support other people. We're all just trying to live the best life that we can. If you get wrapped up in kind of the dogma of, oh, this thing is a sin, this thing is, you know, the worst thing that you could possibly do, I don't want my child to be involved with that, you forget that all of the leaders of religion, like Jesus, for example, since that's the religion I'm most familiar with, Christianity, they all wanted to love one another and support one another.
That's right. You're definitely right about that. Now, what would we say to the person that is the atheist? I'd never leave them out of shows because I have friends that's atheists. That's really are my friends. And they come to me and help me quicker than the Christians. I mean, for real, they help me out way more than the Christians. I'm going to keep that, you know, real and plain. And they don't try to change my thoughts on my beliefs about anything about the Bible or about Jesus or God. You know, they don't. They just like, hey, you know what? That's your thing and this is my thing, but it ain't got nothing to do with us right here in the middle of handling business. And I love that because that's a no judgment zone. That is definitely a no judgment zone. So, you know, with that whole situation, what I was asking you, you know, what do you think that the churches and stuff can do better, Mar, to help, you know, these children that are confused, or the ones that ain't confused, but they really do want to serve or want to be a part of a religion?
I think that the best way to do that is just to embrace people wholeheartedly. There can't be any reservations where, you know, love the sinner, hate the sin, things like that. I think it just needs to be moving forward as far as educating people and educating yourselves and learning that everyone is a person of God if you believe in God, and that everyone wants to come to whatever religious fulfillment they want from their own place and from their own experience. So really just kind of embracing that and not turning people away because of arbitrary rules that, you know, you pick and choose basically in churches a lot.
Right. You're definitely right about that. Well, you know, hold on. What I want to do, we had a question that was passed to us from Brother Anthony, but Mr. Neal, a.k.a. Bernie Mac, you answer that in your way. You know what I'm saying? You asked the question, you know, in
The way
your
you wanna
professional way. Right.
The question was given about how, not so much flip-flopping, but how your transition of your mind is, you know, from one point to the next. You looking at yourself as in a straight relationship, and how does that affect an individual and their families and coworkers, and all of a sudden turn to a gay relationship. I'm going to answer that question. The thing about it is we kind of talked about this session earlier in the first hour. Relationship is a relationship. No one can stop who you love. Love is love.
That's right.
So if you love somebody, depending on what it is, if the person gives you more of a satisfaction from one person to the next, then you go with that. if you decided that there's a better relationship for you in a gay relationship with another partner of the same sex, then that's between you and your higher power and the person that you love. That no one else has anything else to do with that. Now, family and your coworkers and your friends may want to click in and say, you know, I think that that's abomination. I think that's wrong. But then that's where your conviction of your understanding of who you are as a person steps up and says, you know, no one can stop me from loving who I want to love because this person is taking care of me. That's and right. Then the flip side of that is, if you're in a bad relationship, a relationship is a relationship, whether it's in a gay relationship or whether it is in a same straight relationship. You do not allow anyone to take advantage of who you are as a person. You do not let anybody degrade, devour, and treat you like you are lower than scum just because of whatever situation it is. You have to love yourself first within any relationship and take care of who you are as a person before you move forward to love someone else. And people try to hide who they are and their emotions. Sometimes you have to, as they say, bust open the door and get an answer to where you are. If I'm dating someone, I need to know everything about that person within the first, week?
Mm-hmm. Well, what you're basically saying is when you come to the table and we kind of see that it's going in a way where we can be together, let's just clear the air and get it out there where later on nothing comes up and everything's out in the open, right?
Well, right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, you sit there and you quiz a person on, I don't want to say quiz, like it's a game show or something. But
but it really is. You know, what do we need to do to make this right? What do I need to know? And this is what you need to know. Right. It goes back to what I said. How much luggage are we willing to put down and set down and move forward and leave that luggage back here? But we both need to know how much luggage we really bringing in this relationship.
Right. Well, you know,
if it's something I want to deal with, I don't want to deal with.
Right. And luggage is luggage.
Right.
Now, whether it's good or whether it's bad, you're still bringing it with you. Whether you have taken care of something in your life, whether you have not taken care of something in your life, that's going to show up in your relationship. Right. So if you have not dealt with your parents in the situation of going through whatever you're going through, transgender, gay, queer, whatever, then that situation falls off into your relationship, and that puts a big old stain in your relationship because you cannot move forward.
Right. Okay, hold on 1 second. I want to do this. I want to go to you, Sam. I want to ask you a question. And I want to go to you also, Aaron, and you, Marlon. I want to ask this question. What would you all want to say to the parents who are victims of their children's completing suicide? Being that y'all know how rough it is over on that side of the fence. You get what I'm trying to say?
I mean, it's one of those situations. It's so broad. It's one of those situations where, I mean, you know, you want to treat it as any other loss. You know, you want to make sure that you're there to support them through the grieving process and to support them in whatever it is that they need. And I mean, like, as a trans person, and, you know, feel free to disagree with me, Mara and Aaron, I always end up questioning, like, what role did lack of support probably, or did lack of support maybe play in that happening, you know? Could the parent have done more? And I struggle to understand, like, when is a good time to bring that up? When is that okay to talk about? Because the last thing that I want to do is impede on someone's grieving process or try to villain or demonize them and make them out to be a villain in any kind of way. But I always have to wonder, you know, I guess that what I'd want to say then is not directed to the parents of people who have had their children kill themselves. I want to direct it to other parents. Is don't wait until it's too late. Does that make sense? Yes. Don't wait until you're at that point to start to care.
Try to get help somewhere.
Okay, Mar, what's your answer? Question.
I would definitely agree that I would kind of think about focusing on the parents who haven't gotten to that point. What can you do to accept your child and make them feel loved so that maybe they feel like that is not the option they want to choose? Because, I mean, positive things have come out of parents turning that process around and kind of using it as an educational tool so that they can say, hey, this happened to my child and I don't want it to happen to another child. Oh, yeah. But I wish we weren't at the point where that happens to children at all.
That's right. I hear you. Aaron.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry for your loss. That's what I would say to the parents, because even though I haven't gone through something like that, I can only imagine how hard it would be to lose your child because of something like that. But I agree with Sam. Like, you need to be proactive about this type of thing, and I guess take preventative measures just in case. Like, be supportive of your child no matter who they are, and rather who you think they are.
Okay.
And
Right. And find out for sure with a conversation and putting that time in, basically, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, just tell your child that they are loved before anything happens.
I hear
Just tell them that you are there for them and that you are willing to listen. Just be all ears for your children before you lose them.
Okay.
Don't think like it won't happen to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Alan, man, thank you for calling in. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm good, Cogee. How you doing?
All right. What would you like to chime in real quick?
Yeah, I just want to say, definitely listen to your kids, and let them know that you care, and make sure they know that nothing that they'll ever tell you that you'll be upset at them. You'll always be understanding, so they'll always come to you, because you have to give them that certainty.
That's safe.
Certainty that they have a friend, someone they can actually come and talk to.
That's right. You're definitely right about that. I mean, that's the key thing, communication. Communication, getting a facilitator, somebody to come in with you that can referee that situation that the parent cares about and that the parent will listen to. Something that this person can say that will penetrate the parent's mind later on and make them say, well, maybe Mark was right, or maybe Karen was right, this. Maybe I can't say I'm overacting, but maybe I'm looking at it a little too crazy right now because it's new to me. You get what I'm saying? But I'm willing to try to work with this situation.
Cogee, it's not facilitate, it's mediate.
Well,
and the difference is between mediation and facilitating. Facilitating, I'm overseeing the whole conversation. Mediating, I am allowing the people to speak, but I'm making sure that they're speaking within their time frame so everybody else can have time to talk, and they're hearing what you say.
Right. But why I said facilitating was because sometimes some parents have I don't want nobody in my business. You might just have to be there. If you get lucky to just listen, you get what I'm trying to say? That can help as well. But mediation as well, you're right about that too. But I'm saying, I know some people, like with me, I would be like, oh, no. Me and you one-on-one first.
Right.
Because I don't want that person to jump in right when I'm going to say something, and it's like, hold on.
But with mediation, you remember when a person's speaking, they're writing down things that they want to say when it's their turn to talk.
I agree.
And then you have to repeat what the other person said to make sure you heard them correctly. So you want to mediate. And I keep emphasizing that because if you're facilitating something, you may leave something out. Mediation means basically you're giving everybody time to talk.
Right. Okay.
On their equal time to talk.
Right. Okay, there it is. So what I want to do right now, we down to 5 minutes. Elsa, I want to come to you real quick, and Elsa, I want to ask you, what do you think about today's show? You're my co-host, and definitely I got to come to you. I got to ask you, what do you think about today's show?
I really love it, and I really want to encourage all the parents and listeners to really, once the program's over, if they didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing, that they go to the YouTube video and they really listen to all of the information that was provided today. Because I think that there's a lot of very good information that was provided today.
That's right. Real quick, words of encouragement from you, Mara, and I do appreciate you being on the show today.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I just think that everyone who is listening, I hope that they remember that ultimately everyone's coming from the same place where they want to lead a happy life. We should all be encouraging that and supporting that in any way that we can and letting people be themselves.
Okay. Real quick, Aaron. Words of encouragement.
I was a little lost there.
This show that got him off track today.
Okay, so words of encouragement. Well, things get better. Like, just in general, in the past 20 years, things have gotten a hell of a lot better than before. Just with society becoming more accepting and people being more open-minded with everything, it will get better. It might take a really long time, but it'll get there.
Okay. Sam, real quick, words of encouragement.
Honest, just never stop learning. Whether you are the trans person, you're the child, or you're the parent of someone who's trying to help someone go through these kinds of things, never stop learning. The more facts that you have and the more that you can back yourself up, the more power it is that you have. Seek out community, seek out those resources. there are plenty of resources for the people who are going through this and the children, just as much as there are resources for the parents and parents who need to go through their process and understanding these things. Community is out there. There are people out there. And, you know, like Aaron said, like, it does get better.
Okay, there it is. Matt, real quick, words of encouragement.
Just be patient with one another and tolerate and make sure that you let everybody go. I liked what she just said. Let everybody go through their process.
Okay.
And make sure, because the parent's going to have their process when they've been told this, or the individual going through it. Same thing, just be patient.
Okay. All right, there it is. E, real quick.
Yeah, everybody should be more accepting and more open-minded to everybody else's situation. I think we all have the same battle as far as living this life. We all want to live comfortably. Everybody live comfortably if everybody is so much more accepting of everybody else's life.
Okay, we got to move fast. Sunshine.
We all have our own self-empowerment. We all have to look ourselves in the mirror and say, well, do I love me? I can love you. Give yourself a shot.
Bernie Mac.
All right, make sure that you, first of all, love yourself. Second of all, if you're in school, that the teachers and administrators know exactly where you are in life before you decide that you want to go ahead and go forth with anything else.
Okay, Alan, man, real fast.
Let's all have an open mind, and please have an open ear. Listen.
All right. So what I want to say is to everybody, I thank everybody on that side of the fence, you know, making us look good, making us sound good. I want to thank everybody at this table right now. I want to thank everybody around the world. I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in to this show. Please support the Hands Off Our Children show. Go to handsoffouchildren.org. Give us a like, follow us, you know what I'm saying? Definitely leave us a comment and let us know how we can help you and what I can do personally. If I need to come and speak, if I need to do anything, or it's a child you need me to speak to, I'm definitely here to do it, open to do it. To everybody on this panel right now, you know, to Aaron, you know, to Mar, and to you, Sam, I want to say thank you. Much love to you guys. I got y'all's back. I'm one phone call away. Anything I can do to help, I will. And my show is a part of y'all's life as well. Please come back. Please be a part of what we do and tell all your friends about us. To my children, I want y'all to know that I love y'all so much. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. And anything that y'all feel I don't understand, I'm willing to understand because I have friends that'll help me understand. Miss Elsa Prado in Chicago, my love runs deep for you. Thank you for being my co-host. Thank you for believing in me. And to my whole team, I want to say we got bigger and better things coming. We got great things coming. To people that doubted me, in time you will see what I was saying, what I was trying to do, and why I had to do the things I had to do, you know what I'm saying, to make things great on my end for the whole world. So much love to you all. Love your kids, care for your kids, love them, hug them, and always know they number one in your life.